Today we'll learn weather and climate. So let's start weather and climate. So when we are talking about weather, what do we talk about? We talk about the conditions of the air which are around us in a small area. Okay, suppose in our city, and that changes. Its span time changes very frequently. Now weather is not same all over the world. It is confined to small region. Climate, on the other hand, refers to weather conditions prevailing over a long period of time in the same area. Okay? Now, unlike weather, climate does not change. Suppose today is rainy weather. Okay? Today's day is it's raining, and tomorrow, yes, and tomorrow it's sunny. Okay? But during the winter season, it's a climate season. Okay? Climate does not change very soon. Now, what is the difference between them? In the morning, the weather condition may be cool with a slight breeze, but in the afternoon, the weather conditions become hot. In the evening, there might be thunderstorms with some rainfall. The next day, there may not be thunderstorms. Thus, we see the weather changes from time to time every day, and it's not fixed. But these changes are confined to a local area. Now, climate is the overall conditions of the weather, the average of which is taken along a period of time. It does not change from day to day and covers a large area. India has a tropical monsoon climate. The climate of a place tells us all about the season of the place. The change in the season affects our daily life, including our clothes and food habits. So in winters we eat samosa, pakoda, and in summer we eat ice cream. And in summers we wear cotton clothes, and in winter we wear woolen clothes. So it always affects our food and clothing habits. It also has great effect on plants and animals. Now, what are the factors which influence the climate? Latitude or distance from the equator, altitude, distance from the sea, distance from the wind, location of the mountain ranges, and humidity and rains. So, how does latitude or distance from the equator affect? The sun is the ultimate source of energy on the earth, heat energy on the earth. Okay, it gives up the same amount of heat at all times, but the amount of it received by all the places is not same. The rays of the sun fall directly straight on the equator. So distance between the sun and the earth is shortest at the equator. Okay. So the areas near to the equator remain hot, while they which are far from the equator they get slanted rays and they remain cold throughout the year. The places which are cold to the North Pole or the South Pole are very cold and remain covered with snow throughout the year. Thus, the distance from the equator is an important factor affecting the climate. Next, we have on the basis of heat received by the earth from the sun, we can divide the earth into three zones. They are climatic zones. And what are the three climatic zones? Torrid, frigid, and temperate. Now, what is the torrid zone? The areas which are lying between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn come under the torrid zone. So the sun shines directly above these regions. That's why they remain very hot throughout the year. Frigid zone, the areas which lie near the poles, which is between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere, and between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere. They fall in the frigid zone, and they are called the frigid zone. Okay. The rays of the sun fall slanting on this region, so they remain covered with snow throughout the year. Now, the areas which lie between the torrid and the frigid zone come as a temperate zone. There are two temperate zones you can understand, north and south. You can see over here. Okay. The climate here is neither too hot nor too cold. Altitude or height above the sea level. Now, the main factor is the climate is the altitude or height above the sea level. As we go higher, the colder we find. The air closer to the earth absorbs more heat and making the place hotter. While as we go up, air is thin. That's why it cannot absorb heat actually, and thus it becomes cold. So above Mount Everest, you will see snow throughout the year. While near Bay of Bengal, you will see that there is no snow at all. Okay. So these all are only okay. So now distance from the sea. So the climate of the coastal region is affected by the sea also. This happens because of sea breeze and land breeze. They affect the temperature of the country. Okay, in daytime the sea heats both the land and the sea. The land gets heated faster. It becomes hotter than the sea. Hot air is lighter than the cold air. Therefore, hot air from the land rises, creating low pressure. To feel the low pressure, the cold area, the sea blows towards the land and makes the land cold. Similar things happen in the opposite thing happens in the night time. Okay, so due to sea and land breeze, the climate near the sea remains pleasant. It is neither too hot nor too cold. The type of climate is known as moderate climate. The areas which are very far, they have extreme type of climate. Now, direction of winds can be hot or cold. They can be dry also. Now, each type of wind brings far more varied temperature. So, winds blowing from the hot region means high temperature. Okay, and while from the cold region makes the temperature low and the area gets cold. So the winds blowing over water bodies are full of moisture. They bring rain. The desert winds in North India are hot and dry, tend to make the climate hotter and dustier. Location of the mountain ranges. The location of the mountain ranges also influence the climate of the region. Okay, the Himalayas do not allow the icy winds from Central Asia to enter India. India is not as cold as Russia or China. That's why. Okay. The monsoon winds cannot cross the Himalayas, and therefore they bring rain. So humidity and rains. Humidity definition, please learn. And the winds blowing over the sea and the ocean, they are laden with moisture and therefore increase the humidity of the in air. The humid weather makes us sweat. Okay. Thank you so much. Goodbye.